Hi everyone. Our theme for this week at Athens Pilates and More is precision. Precision is the fourth of the 6 core Pilates principles. The first 3 that we've talked about the past 3 weeks were centering, concentration, and control. I encourage you to look at those posts and those videos if you haven't already done so. So this week we're talking about precision. Precision builds upon all of the past 3 Pilates principles to help us really tune into what's happening in our body and setting an intention for what we do in a Pilates exercise or anytime we're moving throughout our day. So if you have ever experienced any kind of injury or pain, you know that sometimes doing something a certain way feels better than doing it another way. And that's what precision is really about, is trying to find the way to move in our body that creates the most harmony, comfort, and strength in our alignment and in our anatomy. So find a place to stand so that you can follow along with this little exercise. So you don't need a mat, you don't need to be up against a wall or anything. So just find a place to stand, comfortable place for your feet. Stand up nice and straight, and then bend your knees and straighten your knees. This time with a little bit more awareness. Where do you feel the weight in your feet? Is it in the balls of your feet, on your toes? Is it in the center of your foot, on your heel? Maybe to the outside of your foot? Maybe to the inside of your foot. Maybe it feels different on each foot. So pay attention to where your weight is this time. Bend your knees and straighten them. I feel more weight in my heels when my knees are straight, and then a little more weight in my toes when my knees are bent. So this shows that I'm having a little bit of rocking in my stability, in the place where I'm connected to the floor. Okay, so now we'll create another little bit of challenge, a little bit of more awareness. Instead of having your feet maybe apart, hip distance like mine are, bring your heels together. This is what we call the Pilates stance. So the balls of your feet should be about 3 finger widths apart, and your heels should be together. Here, if I'm not focusing on anything else, I feel more weight in the outside of my foot than the inside of my foot. Hug your ankle bones and your heels together. You should feel a zip up through your inner leg as you do so. It might feel like the backs of your legs are hugging together. Now just with that cue, just zip the backs of your legs together. Bend your knees and straighten your knees. Think about how that felt different to add that intention of zipping up through the back of your legs. I felt more aware of my midline that we talked about with centering, so I knew that each leg was going to behave more similarly because they were relating to each other. Again, hug the backs of your legs towards each other, all the way from your heel up into your sit bones. Gentle bend of the knee, and straighten your knees. Now, of course, with everything in Pilates, we want to talk about your core. So in this position right now, I'm a little bit tipped forward in my pelvis, so my hip is creased, my butt's sticking out a little bit. So release the zip together of your legs, find your abdominals, lift your belly button in and up. You'll feel that open the fronts of your hips and tuck your pelvis a little bit. Then zip your legs together all the way from your heels and ankle bones up to your sit bones. You might have noticed how my posture got a little taller, my chest lifted and my shoulders opened. Just by engaging my core, zipping up my legs into the midline. Here, bend your knees and straighten your knees. Just by adding those 2 cues, I felt a lot more work in the backs of my hips, in my glutes, and then also stabilizing in my core. It felt like a healthier position for my pelvis. So now we have 2 cues. Zip the backs of your legs together. Engage your abdominals. I'm going to add another one here. Think about holding on to the floor with your feet, like you're going to lift the floor up into the arch of your foot. Then, with that in mind, shift your weight a little bit onto the balls of your feet to make sure you're not sagging into your heels. This helps keep you from hyperextending your knees and also creates more work and length through your body. So, weight in your toes. Hold on with your feet. Zip the backs of your legs together. Lift your core. Bend your knees and straighten your knees. Can you feel how this is more precise? How each joint in your body is now working together. Your muscles are supporting that movement in your joint, and things are a little more fluid. The last cue I'll add is to roll your shoulders back. Reach through your arms. So you have a strong reach down through your hands, lift up through your neck. So you should be a long, straight line all the way from your ear, through your shoulder, hip, over the center of your foot, not over your heels. So start with your feet. Hold on, lift the floor into you. Weight stays on the ball of your foot. Zip the backs of your legs together. Scoop your abs. Reach through your arms. Bend your knees. Straighten your knees. You don't have to do a big movement here. Bend your knees. Straighten your knees, keeping all 4 of those cues active. One more. Bend your knees and straighten your knees. So, the difference between what we did at the beginning, where you stood, you bent your knees, you straightened your knees, and heels together, zip your legs, hold on to the floor, scoop your abs, reach through your arms, bend your knees, straighten your knees, should have a pretty significant difference there. I felt work happening in my core stabilizing, a lot of work in the backs of my legs, underneath my glutes to really hug my sit bones together, and then work through my arms to help lift my chest and lift my spine up through my shoulders. I hope that you could feel a difference as well, and that you learned something today about how to work with precision and integrate different cues into your body and notice how they make a difference. Thanks for watching.